Good evening and welcome back if you follow me, and welcome if you've just found me. If you found me, there's possibly some messages on my channel for you. You know, my channel, it's about being honest and authentic, and you know, all my content comes through when it comes through, and you know, it's all from my journey, my twin flame journey, my spiritual awakening journey. You know, that I have this knowledge and it's returned, you know, back to me, my sacred knowledge. And also, you know, my human my human journey that sent me on my spiritual journey. You know, my human journey was many years of chronic health issues and healing, deep healing. And just when I thought I was through the chronic illness and you know, life was gonna pick up, and you know, I was finally out of this long chronic illness, many years, about 15 years, maybe more. I can't remember now, you know, it seems like a lifetime ago. Then the twin flame journey hit, and if I thought the chronic illness was bad, you know, it's very debilitating, very isolating, exhausting, emotionally, mentally, physically, when you've got a chronic illness and you're living with that every day, you know, it's daily. And your family and friends, you know, that can help so much, but ultimately it's up to you, you know, to help yourself, to get yourself better, to figure out what's going on, you know, inside your body. And that's the journey, you know, that I got set upon. Excuse my hair, honestly. And I'm on here today, well, I'm on here now because I feel misunderstood, you know, like on your spiritual journey and also on my human journey. I felt misunderstood and not taken serious. You know, I knew I was very ill, and I knew it was only a matter of time for my body really give up. You know, I could feel that. You know, when you know yourself and you know your body, and I always say to people who are ill, listen to your body. You know, it's got signs. It'll tell you. And nobody knows you like you know you. Nobody knows your body, what's going on inside your body, like you know your body. And yeah, I felt very misunderstood, and I guess that's why I've come on now, because I just, you know, my human self was very misunderstood for many years, not taken serious that I was that ill, you know, and I didn't feel like I had any support around me. But you know, I did, but it's yeah, you know, it wears your family down too, you know. It doesn't just affect you, it affects everybody around you. So I think, you know, it got a bit exhausting for my family, my friends, which is understandable. But you know, yeah, I knew if I didn't get myself better and my health back on track, yeah, it wasn't looking good for me. My chronic illness was taking over in all ways, and that was to do with my environment also. You know, environment, it affects everything, you know, your health, your emotional, your physical, mental. The environment that you put yourself in and you stay in affects you, you know. And that's what was having a big effect on me getting better, was my environment. It had to change. It wasn't a good environment for me, let's put it that way. So I started to make that change. Yeah, I started to on my timer. Yeah, I've been seeing fur. Has anybody else been seeing fur? So I started to make that change, and I started to look at ways to heal myself. This is on my human journey. Before I I spiritually awoke. This is the years prior to spiritually awakening. Yeah, started to make that change in my human journey, and I started to get my yoga mat, and I started to look after myself more, and I started to put the love back into myself that I outsourced to everybody else. And I didn't have no energy. I was exhausted. I was bedridden most days. Yeah, my life consists of bed and bath, and on the good days, I made the most of it, because there was few and far between for many, many years. Not speaking days or months, talking years. Chronic illness is years. You're battling. You're battling for your life, for some days. I can't speak for anybody else with illnesses, but I was, and it was getting sick. It was serious, I knew that. I knew my body was breaking down. My mental health and all of that was affected. It was all affected, So yeah, I remember the turning point, and it was in my old house, and unbeknownst to me, what was happening in my old house, the environment that I was in, was connected to my spiritual path and the dark energies that have pretty much been around me, trying to stop me from growing, trying to stop me from waking up. Yeah. So my old house had, dark energy there. It did. And it was because of the environment, the environment that you stay in affects everything. And I believe now, I don't know what's going on with my hair, I believe now that I was always a target for the lower energies on my spiritual path. I didn't know it back then, but I know it now. Now I look back and jigsaw it all together. Excuse me, but my fringe. I know it now, and I know this journey now, and the dark works through the closest to you. So my family, my friends. And I see that now. I can see it now. When something comes my way, and say my partner just snaps out of the blue, I know that is not him. That is the darker energies targeting me, and that is not an ego thing. Can I just sort this fringe out? It's not an ego thing. It's a knowing, and it's a knowing that twin flames are targeted by darker energies, and they're targeted because we hold so much light, very, very powerful light. And now I realise that the work through, I've just got to sort this out. I can't do my fringes. The weather's had my fringe again. So yeah, now I know that those working through the closest to me, my partner, friends, family, all of that. And I see it for what it is now. So I always feel like I am targeted, and I am targeted, but now I've done this journey, I understand why, it was the dark parts of this journey trying to stop my light from raising. But the true twin flame and the true warrior of the light alchemizes all of that. Magician. Yeah, the dark, I alchemize that into light. The energies coming towards me, the energies that used to attack my psyche, psychic attacks, the real. Spiritual warfare, it's very, very real. I've had it for many, many years. Other twin flames will speak of it also, light workers. I can't speak for anybody else's path, but I've heard many speak of spiritual warfare. But it's a knowing, you know, I don't need to hear many speak of it. It's a knowing. I've walked this path. And I alchemised. And I alchemised the dark coming from my family and friends. You know, I became the magician. I knew I was an alchemist at a certain point of this journey. Didn't know it before, but pretty soon, you know, I was raising my vibration, and I knew I was the alchemist, and I knew that I transmute, you know, negative energy into positive energy. That alchemical process, taking something from metal to gold. And I can do that. I've done it many, many times. I still do it. I've done it since waking up, since before as well. I realise that now. But I was very, very much targeted, and this is why I came on. Well, downloads was coming in, but I'm feeling like that today for some reason. And yeah, I want to talk about the psychic attacks, the unseen attacks that you feel, but you can't see. So the dark parts of this energy, the lower energies that are trying to stop us. You know, the dark, it wants to dim that light. Why? Because it's very, very powerful. So they don't want our light to raise, you know, because they know how powerful we are. They know we're magicians. They know that we can alchemise the dark into light, just like that. And I can now. I can speak things into existence also, because I'm a frequency, because I've done the work. I know I can do that. Quick manifester. I can manifest good, I can manifest bad. So I had to be very, very careful of what I think, what I speak, you know, because I've done it many, many times, and it's always shown up the way that I've spoken over. So I'm aware of that. I've become this magician, very, very aware now of my spiritual gifts and the alchemy, you know, very, very much aware of I am an alchemist. And yeah, so yeah, just came on because I'm just feeling a bit out of sorts today. I know the energies for the twin flames pretty heavy. There's lots of shifts going on, and you know the Schumann resonance, yeah, pretty heavy. Felt the fluctuations on that. Still feeling it. Still feeling energy shifts. I'm aware of energy shifts because I'm the alchemist. You know, I've on this path. Yeah, I've come across it all. You know, there's not one part of this path I probably don't know now. That's not an ego thing. That's because I've alchemised a lot on this path. Still learning. I know I'll be learning. It's a never-ending journey. Still learning, but yeah, I know I'm an alchemist. And when the dark parts of this path start to seep in, your thoughts can get affected. You know, that's they're attacking your psyche. They'll attack anything. They'll go for your family and your friends to get to you. Seen it happen all the time. Felt it. And my old house, before I woke up, I was very much targeted there. Was I targeted there? In the human sense, we would say that house was haunted. Now my spiritual mind knows I was always a target for the lower energies, because I was always meant to wake up, and the gifts that I hold was always meant to be shared, and the light that I hold inside me was always meant to come to the surface. But my path, you know, took me to that home, and yeah, and I think if in any home I would have been targeted. Been targeted in this home, and it's a brand new home, and it was my second home that I moved into after yeah, it's my second home, and it was our new beginning, you know, because of all the dark energy in the old house. And I was so looking forward to my new beginning. And the old house, I didn't even go in and, you know, say goodbye to it. Some people say goodbye to a home when they're leaving it. I just said, let's go. Because I could not wait to see the back of that house. Because it was the dark energy that was in it, you know. And the minute I got in this house, wow, what a difference. You know, environments, they hold that energy also. And it's like the echo, you know, of something left behind, you know, houses. They say houses and buildings hold emotions, you know. It does, it's true. But I also know now, since I've been in this house, I was targeted in this house also. But I was more awake, I was more spiritually protected. There's an angel sign just outside my house, and it's called Angel Road. There's a big signpost saying Angel Road. And I didn't notice that. So I noticed it after a few days of moving in. And in this house was the house I started to feel my angels, hear my angels, have visions, all of that, you know. It started to come up more online in this house because I was in a better environment. So I was leaving that dark behind, you know. I wasn't going to give up a fight that easy. It doesn't. Because they know how powerful we are. Twin flames are very, very powerful, ancient souls. Light workers, light seeds, very, very powerful. We have special, special gifts inside us. We're here for this timeline. We're here to wake up and to help Earth, you know, with our frequency. That we do the healing, and then that returns to us. Been interrupted again. Lots of interruptions on this path. Getting tested, yeah. There's lots of tests and lots of interruptions on your journey, your spiritual journey, and you know, obstacles to push through. That's just one, you know, interruptions. That's just one of your obstacles that you have to push through. There's many, many. Like I've just been talking about, yeah, things unseen. So, things unseen behind the moon. The lower parts of this energy, the dark, working for your family and friends to get to you. And that's not to scare anybody, but I can speak on my experience. I've experienced this, and I illuminated all that, you know. It's been illuminated to me now. The more I've done the healing, and the more I've left the negative environments behind, the more, you know, this moon has got, yeah, it's illuminated things to me. I'm not in the shadows anymore, you know. Yeah, it's got lighter, you know, the darker parts of this energy, this path. It's got lighter. But they're just some of the obstacles, you know, you push through. But yeah, you were to come online and speak about the darker parts of this journey, because to be real and authentic about this journey, it's not all butterflies and unicorns and rainbows. It's not. But it is leading you to a better life. It's leading you to your light inside of you. But first you have to, you know, push through these obstacles. You've got to do all the healing. You've got to go through your wounds, your traumas. You've got to face things unseen. You've got to realise the psychic attacks coming in. You've got to see that they're working for your family and friends, you know, the lower parts of this journey. Yeah, that's not to scare anybody, but I know this path. And there's many, many more that are like me that know this path. And, you know, I don't get scared now, whereas before I used to, especially in this house, you know, because this was my new beginning, and I thought, oh, I'd left all that behind, and my health was getting better, and it was, you know, conducive to my environment. I was getting better and better by the day. But the higher you get to your light and opening up that light inside of you, the more the dark will come at you. because they don't want your light to get out. They know that you're almost there. You know, you're going to crack wide open and you're going to illuminate everything, and you're going to expose the dark, and you're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's why they're telling me to talk about it. They know that it's quite taboo to certain people, and it can scare some people, you know. And it scared me, I'm going to be honest. It did scare me, but I also understood it for what it was. And when you understand something and you can face it and you can illuminate it, then you're exposing it. So once you expose it, it has no hold over you anymore, has no power over you anymore. And that's what's happened to me. Very, very, very protected. The higher I've gone on this path, the more protected I am from my angels and my spirit guards. And I'm aware, you know, so anything like that does come in at me, which it won't now, because I'm too aware and I'm too protected. Done the work. It won't affect me. But yeah, that's why they want me talking about it. So that's just one of your obstacles. You know, this lady, she's got 10 obstacles. I wish I just had 10 obstacles to get through in my life, my human life, and my spiritual awakening. No, I've had many, and like we all have. I know I'm not the only one. You know, spiritual awakening is the hardest path you're ever going to be on. I thought my human life was hard prior to it, the lessons I've learned and what I've gone through. But no, spiritual awakening, when you start waking up and you start seeing things for what they are, you know, and you start looking beyond the veil, and the world totally gets turned upside down on its head to you. You know, all your programming starts crumbling, all what you've ever known. Yeah, you start seeing through it all, you know, you start seeing through that veil. Nobody can lie to you anymore, nobody can deceive you anymore. There's no obstacles like that, you know, you can see through it all. It's like glass. Yeah, you know, you're that magician. You've alchemised. You can alchemise it all. So before even people, you know, try to betray me now, I've had it many times, they can't, because I can see what's coming. That's precognition. I've had visions many times, and they've all come true. That's the magician in me. That's the alchemist. That's the old ancient soul in me. I was meant to always be this way. And I was meant to expose things for what there was behind the moon. The moon, it's hidden things. I was meant to do that. I was meant to expose the dark for what it is and bring the light. Expose my light and then help others find their light. I was always meant to be on this path. But yeah, my human life and my spiritual, 10 swords bearing down on you. Behind the moon again. You know, there's a lot of moons on these cards because things are hidden. And this is also about intuition. Yeah, when I started to put myself in better environments and heal myself and really go looking deep inside myself, my intuition came on board, you know. And when we left the old house, my intuition had a better environment to grow in, you know, because I was being stifled also in the old environment. Not so many not nice things, you know, going on. And yeah, the dark parts of this energy attacking my psyche, making me think I was crazy, making me think it was my fault, all of that. No, it's not. It's not. If you hold this light inside of you, and that dark does not want you to illuminate your light, because it knows why you're here. And I'm here for this timeline, in this new golden age, to seed, you know, high frequency, unconditional love to humanity. That is what balances things out, you know, and it exposes the dark. Yes, I had to do this journey. And in many years of it, I'm just feeling a bit misunderstood today, I suppose, because you will feel misunderstood on your spiritual journey, your human journey too. But you know, spiritual journey, it takes you to another level. So yeah, you do feel misunderstood on it, and you are misunderstood as well, because some people just can't get you because of the gifts and what you know. You know, I freak people out all the time with what I know, and I do. I'm meant to trigger people's shadows, and you know, yeah, I'm meant to wake people up. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, just feeling a bit out of sorts today. And I've been feeling that for quite a while. Because of the Schumann resonance, also the energy is messing with me. But I started to lift, and then I started to come back down again, and I thought, what's going on? And that's why I've come upstairs, because my outlet is creativity, you know. That's what's got me through, is creating. You know, I created a candle business. I didn't create it. I co-created it with Spirit, my spirit team, and the angels. It's all part of where it was leading me to, you know. The healing. So being creative and having a creative outlet, it's very, very healing. I started drawing pictures of faceless women. Could never ever finish my face. Looked like me, just could never ever finish my face. So, you know, when you go into these swords, dark night of the soul, that's your old identity crumbling away to become a new identity. Well, to find your true identity, they're saying your true identity, soul. And for that to happen, you know, yeah, the dark's got to fall away. Got to expose it. Got to expose the dark inside yourself. Because although, you know, I've been told I'm from the angelic realm and I've got angel wings, we all hold dark and light inside of us. You know, those two. And this journey is about balancing them two energies out inside of ourselves and realising, you know, that we are the magician. Once you balance the divine feminine, divine masculine energy out inside yourself, that's when you realise, you know, you are human and you are divine. And your channel to source becomes, yeah, your intuition just starts flowing. Recently, it's just been flowing out of me, one reading after another, after another, after another. That's because I'm trusting my intuition now. And you might have caught my last reading. Trusting my intuition. Yeah, just feeling a bit out of sorts. And I know why. And that's just popped right into my hands. Literally just jumped into my hands. Yeah, Star of David is catching my eye. And, you know, the Merkaba. The Merkaba, I work with that. I don't think I've got one down here. But that's part of my remembrance from Lemuria. You know, because when you start waking up to your spiritual path and you start moving these obstacles out the way, you start remembering your past lives. And Merkaba, the Merkaba body, we all have that, you know. And when you activate it, it's like force field around your body. And I activated it once during meditation, and I was just spinning. Like, yeah, it's just caught my eye. I'm going to read a little bit about the book, because, yeah. So, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's natural, you know. I felt out of sorts many, many times on this path, because your energies don't don't stabilise. You know, you can stabilise, you do stabilise them eventually. But when you're pushing through these obstacles, you don't feel grounded, you don't feel part of the human race anymore. You don't, you know, because that's all crumbling away when you're pushing through these obstacles. So why are you taking this journey up the mountain in this storm? It's to push these obstacles out the way. And part of that is it brings fractals back of yourself, you know, and remembrance of your past lives. And yeah, the Star of David and the Merkaba star and Lemuria all connected for me. Lemuria was one of the first past lives that really connected for me, and it was off my my Lemurian quartz master seed that I was meditating one night or one day, and my first light codes ever came off this crystal. And it's also got another part to it, but it broke off. Yeah, it made two. So it was, you know, one whole. I know where they're going with this. It was one crystal, one whole, but it split and it went into spirit so subtle, and it made two. Now, does that remind you of anything? Twin flame. You know, we are one, always one, same frequency, one soul, splits into two. Very subtle spirit. Also a twin flame reading's coming through. Could tell. Yeah, the energies are pretty intense. So I'll read the Knight of Pentacles card. So hard work, productivity, getting work done in order to see results. Yeah. This journey is hard work. I am literally, I've got my feet on my grounding mat now. Been out today, as you can tell, because my hair is windswept. Took my little pub Luna for a walk. And, you know, after many years of isolation and staying in the house and not wanting to be around family and friends, which you can't get away from if you live with them, but I'd just bring myself up to my work room or my bedroom. They said it was time, you know, for me to come out of isolation now to share my gifts with the world and go online and all of that. Done that alchemy, you know, I've alchemised what I needed to alchemise, these 10 of Swords. Done the hard work, yeah. And I've got things done, you know, and I've made reliable progress. I've persevered. Now, my house number, not my house number, my street name, you know, something to do with perseverance. I've persevered on the spiritual awakening path, twin flame journey. You have to have perseverance. It's what's going to get you through it. And my mum used to say, very stubborn, Ellie. And that would have been the ancient soul in me, you know. I would have known things I shouldn't have known, you know, even as a child, that ancient soul. Although, you know, I wasn't awake at that point, I would have still known, you know, somewhere deep inside me, that child would have known, no, I wanted that. Yeah, it's done this way. And my mum used to say that I knew things that, you know, I shouldn't have known, really. And she always thought that I was going to do something different for people. She always said that, you're going to be, you're different, you know, you was meant to do something. And she's passed now, she passed in 2025. And I saw that coming. Could not stop it, you know. There's certain things that you can't stop what you see coming. Although I have precognition, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, because of these obstacles I've healed, my wounds, my traumas. Certain things that are divine timing, you know, and my mum's passing was divine timing. She chose that. She knew when she came to Earth that she would be doing a job here, and if you caught my my Mother's Day, channeling came through a week after my mum passed. It's all in there. It's called Stardust Mum. And it's beautiful. And I automatic write, so I know when the channels come through, my hand just takes a life of its own. You know, I can't stop it. It's like my hand is, yeah, it's got life of its own. But yeah, it was all in there that she was saying to me, my job is done. I'm returning to the stars from which I came. And as an ancient soul and a seer and shaman, medicine woman, Lemurian, many past lifetimes, you know, not just one. It's how I know what I know. And because I've done the work, yeah, they're saying because you've done the work in this lifetime, you've pushed through your obstacles, you've illuminated the dark inside yourself, and you've healed, balanced it, you know, because you need shadow and light. Needs to exist with each other, you know, but balanced it. I've not got these obstacles anymore, you know. But yeah, it was all in there that she said, we're from the stars, stardust, and that's why it's called Stardust Mum. And it came flowing out of me, literally 5 minutes. And the room went just silent. My telly was blaring out. My partner has it full on volume. And in that space, in that stillness, I felt like I was just quiet. It was quiet. And I reached for my pen and my paper. And I just started to channel. And I understand what I'm doing now. When I started automatic writing, I didn't understand what I was doing. I just thought, what's going on here? Is this? And then my old soul kicked in and I was like, it's another form of channeling that I've activated through pushing through all these obstacles. So more gifts return to you, more memories of your past life return to you when you do the work, you know. And part of my past lives is Lemuria, Mary Magdalene, Rose Lineage Path. Dragons are online now. Yeah, many. The Angelics was pretty much coming at the same time Lemurian past life came in. Egyptian also. Yeah, all of that, you know. But my mum knew that her job was done. She came here to Earth as a soul to help me evolve. So you choose, you know, you choose your parents and you choose your family, what you put in. And it helps our souls evolve, you know. So if you put in a family of they don't show emotion, yeah, emotionally wounded, that's what you'll heal. Yeah, abandonment, that's what you'll heal, and you'll show others how to heal that. But yeah, so my mum and my father was chosen, you know, with yeah, for that purpose. Chose them for this purpose, for my soul to evolve, for this timeline. Very important timeline we're in. Earth needs us, you know. Earth needs all the light workers, way shows out there. And the dark knows that. And, you know, our light, that's why we're called light workers. Because we bring the light. We expose the dark in ourselves and heal that. Then we expose the dark. The real, you know, the dark. And yeah, that's what I want me to talk about. And it's not to scare anybody, but I've done this journey. I know the obstacles that you face. And it's all real, you know. I couldn't make this up if I tried. And I'm saying it's going to be a good book one day. And that's another thing I've got to do on this path is write a book. Because they want my story out there and it's going to help many. My light's not meant to be dimmed anymore, you know. I've done the work. Hard work. And I say no more of these. Yeah, no more of them. That's it, to leave it there. So I've done the work, and if you do the work, you push through your obstacles, then you alchemize. You alchemize these obstacles, the dark, into light. So your wounds, you alchemize that. And you heal them wounds. Your trauma, you alchemise that. And your trauma, you know, gets less and less and less till it goes away. Your abandonment wounds, you don't feel abandonment anymore, you know. You alchemise it. So you take it from metal to gold. Yeah, it's that alchemical marriage, you know, that came up also on the twin flame path. I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to be back on straight after because there's a twin flame reading downloading right now. Yeah, and I'll speak to you soon.